All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Tuesday, the 26th of April. We've got some incredible events coming up in the month of May, but to finish off this month, just one event. That's the Robert Mondavi Reserve tasting going back to 1974, folks. That's right, a legendary vintage in Napa Valley. I think there's still a few seats left for that event on Friday night, but you better call us today, tomorrow, sometime in the real near future. Anyways, what we've got to sell you today, we've got a California cull tasting. This is an annual event that we do here at the Wine Watch. And if you look at the history of the California wine industry, well, it only goes back a couple hundred years, but when you look at the quality, you know, we'd mentioned the Robert Mondavi vertical tasting, the Reserve. He was one of the first guys to say, we can make better wine. We can make some of the best wine made on the face of the earth. In 1976, the Paris tasting, well, the rest of the world realized that, or at least the French people did. I love the story that after the tasting of Paris, the French government sent people over to spy on the U.S. winemakers to see what they were doing. And 6 months later, this French government hadn't heard from these people they sent over to spy. And you know what? They sent them finally back a postcard, said, we like it here, we're staying. See you later. Those folks founded Chateau Patel Winery in Napa Valley. So, and it's a fascinating story. But if you look at the history of quality winemaking, the cult wines of Napa Valley, really most of these started in the 90s. That's just like 20 years ago, folks. So a relatively short history at the high end of quality. But today, most people recognize the fact that the Napa Valley produces some of the best Cabernet Sauvignon-based wines on the face of the earth. Hey, they make pretty good Chardonnay too. Make a couple other good varietals, Merlot, Zinfandel, some people like that stuff. But Cabernet Sauvignon is really what Napa Valley has become known for. And what people are paying big bucks for. Some of the wines we're serving tonight, Screaming Eagle, costs over $1,000 a bottle. Harlan Estate, Colgin, all of these wines are very expensive, very small production. The Colgin Herb Lamb, there's just 350 cases of that wine produced every year. Well, the simplest form of economy comes into factor here, supply and demand. And when there's only 350 cases of a wine that gets rated 96, 98, 99, 100 points. Do we have any 100 points in this lineup? Ooh, 99 points. The Marcassin Chardonnay. We're starting out with the ultimate cult wine, the Chardonnay from Helen Turley and John Wetlaufer from their estate vineyard, the 02 vintage. Killer juice, and along with some Kistler Chardonnay. Let's see how many points. If we add up all these, it's got to be like 1,000 or 1,500 points, because we have got like 15 wines on this offer. And the great thing, well, we have a theme every year with this cult tasting. We have got the 2004 vintage, so a recent release, and then we're going back to the 1995 vintage. And we've got some 1999s also, but those three vintages, and we have got 2 wines from each producer. So you're going to get to see the Herb Lamb from 1995, and then the Herb Lamb from 2004. So you get to see how that wine develops over time. Well, sorry, we don't only have one vintage of Screaming Eagle. We'd have to raise the price a little bit. But we've got a great menu. Tony from Watch Catering will be putting out a 4-course meal to go with these wonderful wines. And check it out. It's on today's offer. Everything that we've got to serve. I think we got a Tony's Treats coming up this week, too. Back to some serious production here on the YouTube. All right, folks, I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.